Hello, beautiful Virgo friends. Welcome to my channel, The Intuitive Teacup. We are here today to do your February 2020 General Tarot readings. I hope this video finds you well. So happy to have all my Virgo friends with me today. As always, in these general tarot readings, not everything will resonate for you. I can just about guarantee it. Pieces and parts of this reading very likely will, but because it is general, it is up to you guys to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, and ultimately to discern the messages, to take away the messages that speak to you the most. If something feels foreign or strange, you can drop it like it's hot. It's probably not your message. But yeah, I hope lots and lots of this resonates for you. That's my goal here today. But don't put pressure on yourself to make everything fit right here and right now. This is for your benefit, only because in a few hours, days, even weeks, something might click for you, and that means it was your message. So just because one or two things don't necessarily make sense here in the moment, you stick with it. If something speaks to you in this reading, yeah, stick with it. That's my guidance. I'm not going to tell Virgos what to do. I know better than that. All right. Anyway, everything else for you is written in the description box below, including my social media. I am The Intuitive Teacup on Facebook, Instagram, and .com. As well as the decks I'm using. That's all going to be listed in the box below if that is of interest to you. What else do I need to tell you? Just got a few more decks to shuffle, so bear with me here. For those interested in attending a tarot expo convention thing, if you live in and around Los Angeles, there's going to be one in late March. I'm doing it with a whole bunch of tarot readers on YouTube. I'll try and put some information about that in the link or in the box below. I know not all of you are going to live in LA, so you're like, great, that does nothing for me. But hey, if you do, stop on by. It's going to be fun. Ramblin' Mike, for those who are familiar with him, which I'm sure you are. If you're on my channel, you've definitely heard of Ramblin' Mike. He's way bigger. He's been around for a while. So he is sort of like hosting it. He created this whole thing, and as well as one of my favorite readers, Behind the Limb. Her name is Molly. She's great. She's going to be there, and I think she's flying out to LA to do it. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Again, I'll try and put the information below. It's late March. I want to say it's like March 25th or something like that. Anyway. All right, Virgo, I think we are good to go. I got to pull one more card for your energy, and we're going to hop in. 2 minutes. That's not too bad. One more card for Virgo's energy. All right, Queen of Wands. Hell yeah, I love that. Okay, let's hop into your reading. So you have the Devil, you have the Queen of Wands, and you have the Four of Wands, but it's called Freedom in this deck. So let's see what that's about. Yeah, it's funny. This could go two different ways because going off the depictions alone, this is typically a card of, I'm going to circle back to the depictions. This is typically, the Four of Wands is a solid foundation. If it's not that, it can be marriage. It can be small celebrations. Again, a four is kind of, early on in the game, but sometimes it's also the soulmate card. The 11-11, meaning your twin flame, your soulmate. I'm leaning more towards the side of twin flame for now, but it doesn't mean that it couldn't evolve into something more stable. Some of you have, this is a very unique message. Some of you have an angel guide, a spirit guide, a guardian, an ancestor who has passed on that you feel watches over you that is an Aries, a Leo, or a Sag. And something about this is they are urging you to get together with a Capricorn. It's almost like I'm almost saying they've orchestrated it in a way where you are going to come across in your life, if you haven't met this person already, and for some of you, you may already be with them, Virgo, a fellow earth sign, Capricorn. There's something about this. This is such a unique message, something about awakening your sexuality again. So I don't know if some of you are kind of in a hiatus or something like that, or maybe you've lost, say you're married, maybe you've lost the passion in your marriage, or, if it relates, take it and run with it. It's almost like we're trying to, I said the same thing to Scorpio too, if anyone's dealing with a Scorpio. It's like you're trying to rekindle the fire. That's very much the message I get from this. Sometimes the devil can set little red flags in my head of, is it codependency? Is it addiction? Is it shadow self? It really doesn't seem to be. It's almost like the way I'm getting this is whether you're male or female, doesn't matter. Metaphorically, this is you, Virgo, and there's someone in the distance that's trying to call you out of your own head. You're very much stuck in your head right now and isolating yourself. You are my Hermit card, right? So for better or worse, there is a natural, I don't know how you want to say it, course of action for you to go internal and to isolate yourself to kind of, and it's not a bad thing to go off on, a spiritual path, but I'm actually getting that you're too stuck in your head. Someone needs to call you out the way he's playing like isn't it called the pipes of Pan, something like that? It's called, and some of you, music may play a very important role for some of you. So I don't know if you potentially meet this person in some sort of venue at a concert or where music's playing. Some of you may play a musical instrument. It doesn't have to be that, but with all this fire, creativity, Queen of Wands, she's like literally almost like dancing there, right? It's trying to get that fire back. It's trying to get that spark back in her hand and nurture it so that it can grow into something more stable. And so here's where I'm going with this whole temporary but maybe into the future thing. It's almost like you have been sent this person to pull you out of what seems like might be a difficult time, to reinvigorate your life, to add a little sparkle, to add a little magic, to add a little chemistry, passion, sexuality. That's sort of what this feels like. It does, and I mean, I'm not necessarily reading for love. It may have to do with your career, but it doesn't fit organically that way. So I'm going to go with this story related to your career if that works for you. But it seems like this person has been like called upon by universe, by something other. It just seems like divinely guided. Like someone is behind the curtain orchestrating this all so that this person comes into your life and kind of pulls you out of your slump. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Let's pull a clarifier on it. What is the slump? Yeah, because you're in your head. That's what I was saying earlier. Eight of Swords is like the mental prison. Sometimes this is a card of not wanting to face the truth, not wanting to see the reality. It's like we're coming up with excuses why we can't move forward, but it does come from a place of wanting to keep ourselves safe, wanting to protect ourselves. But when this card comes up, it's not a card of like rest and relaxation. It's your thoughts are eating away at you. It's become your prison. It's become a false sense of safety. Does that make sense? That was bottom of the deck. So what is this devil energy with Virgo? Some of you may be interested in another Virgo, or again, Capricorn is the devil card. So nothing about this devil right now feels bad to me other than watch the, if you already know who this is, if you're already, I almost said knee deep in it. That sounds kind of sexual and I don't even know what that means, but I know what it means. Anyway, moving on. Watch that this doesn't turn to obsession though, because there may be something about this person comes into your life, it came right out again, like an earth angel, like a guardian, a protector, someone who comes to, what is that expression? Nurse a broken wing, like a bird. If it has a broken wing, it's like they nurse you back to health in metaphor. And that name Bird or Birdie or something like that might be, or Bert, I don't know, something about that name Bird or a specific type of bird, that might be someone's name. Robin. I don't know, sparrow, I don't know. Anyway, watch your obsession, because if this person, it was almost like this person is on lend or on loan, on contract. And I'm half joking, but it's something about it. It might not be forever. And so watch yourself that you don't get overly attached to this person, because flat out, I'm telling you, they may not be here to stay. You meet people for a reason or a season or for both. You may have met this person for a season and then it was like their time to go. And it is to help liberate you, like literally, prison, freedom, right? That might mean something specific to one or two of you out there too. If you have a spouse who is behind bars or a child even for that matter, maybe that's what's really puts you in a state of depression. And yeah, I am feeling isolation, alone. So, and I gotta be honest, for 90% of you, this is going to be a sexual thing, or at least romantic, right? So, again, watch the obsession, watch that this doesn't like bubble over into something really messy. Take it in stride, enjoy it while it lasts, but know that there's probably something else out there for you. Yeah, okay, this is actually really perfect. So 10 of Swords is sometimes a really icky card, right? But here it's called endings. Sorry, I was going to say freedom because that's what this is. It's endings, and that's exactly what I'm talking about here. This person, it's really beautiful. By some sort of spirit angel guide, or it could be someone in the 3D, a friend of a friend. If you have a best friend who's an Aries, Leo, Sag, you're like, hey, I know this Capricorn, or I know this very like kind of sexy, intriguing, kind of devil may care attitude person. They introduce you, you meet, and something about their energy, it takes you from this to wanting to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and kind of step away from these negative thoughts to get yourself back out there again, to introduce more magic, fun, passion into your life. That frees you. And again, this person is very key in offering you some sort of solid foundation that allows you to launch yourself. It's not that they're coming in to rescue you, right? But there is something about being with them, seeing the way that they live their life. It is very rebel. It might be an Aquarius season, no less. The rebels, the aliens of the zodiac, unique thinkers, different ways of seeing things, of viewing the world. That is exactly what you need right now, because the way you're viewing things, you're blindfolded, right? There's an avoidance. There's not wanting to see the truth. Seeing that there's a different way to go about something, there's a different way of viewing the world, that sets you off and closes out this cycle of difficult, burdensome thoughts. It's almost like you skip right over the 9, though. I feel like that's probably going to come up later. It's like they fast forward you a little bit so you can get yourself out of this negative headspace. 10s are always the completion, the closing of a cycle. And as I said, something about this relationship might be fleeting, but it does serve you in a really important capacity. So what an interesting message. That's sort of what we're starting off with. All right, let's look into your challenge or focus. Money might be challenging in some capacity, or something about a parent-child dynamic. Someone who feels like they're not being seen, or someone who feels like they didn't get what was due to them or owed to them. Yeah, something about the feeling of an abandoned child, and I feel like I get that for you guys a lot. I do get this message for you a lot. I remember you've had to go out and make your own way in the world. You haven't been able to rely on, if it's not parents, it's the people around you. It could be your husband, your wife, your ex, your this, your that, your siblings. Yeah, it's something about feeling like you're always going at it alone. Again, very hermit mode energy. Though I will say you're an extremely hard worker. You are very set and determined. Your downfall, and please don't take any offense to this, there's no judgment here. Your downfall is that you sink into deep bouts of depression because you let that isolation, again, give you false beliefs that nobody likes me, nobody loves me, I'm not good enough. And it is a little bit woe is me. But what you don't realize is that while it is incredibly shitty and unfortunate that you've been made to feel this way, ultimately you hold the power over your emotions and your feelings. And so you can choose to recognize what feelings support you, what emotions support you in this journey and what don't. And toss out the sour cups. Toss out the people in your life that have broken your heart, that have tainted the well, spoiled the water. It's like you're sipping from this cup and it's making you bitter or if it's not bitter, angry, sad, jealous, like a very lack mentality because you keep returning to the past. The 6 of Cups is a card of the past. So interesting, as I'm saying, this very individualized hermit, I'm always at it alone. This is saying you're not. Again, having faith that some of this has been orchestrated by the universe because you were meant to stand out among the rest. You may have come from a broken home or a family that just, I do want to say maybe addiction issues or health issues, or it was almost like the universe saw opportunity in you, Virgo, and they wanted to protect you in a way where you couldn't be touched, you couldn't be harmed, you couldn't be tainted by those around you. And if that's okay, this is a bit of a dark message. So again, it's not for everyone. Some of you may have been a victim of abuse of some kind. And it's almost like when that happened, again, something was trying to pull you or draw you out of a situation. But by default, it forced you to go at life alone. It forced you to step up and almost have to be the parent. Even though you were a child, it forced you to step up and be very mature, or I'm getting a loss of innocence, guys. I got to be really honest. And again, not for everybody. It doesn't have to be as extreme as sexual abuse or a child predator. It doesn't have to be that, but there is a loss of innocence. Something tainted you in childhood, and it's a burden that you've been carrying around, mainly in your thoughts, in your head, in your mind, for what feels like years. You don't realize how far you've come. Music has played a really key role for a lot of my Virgos out there. And if it hasn't, this is actually encouraging you to, it may even just be writing music, writing poetry, going to I don't know, going to concerts, listening to your favorite music, learning an instrument. There's something extremely therapeutic in that. And to be quite honest, what it is you have a story inside of you. You have a book or a great verse or song lyrics or a story inside of you that is waiting to be unleashed. And again, this is a weird dynamic of, it is unfortunate that you've had to carry around that really icky, gross feeling. But it's almost making a positive out of a negative, using your story, your experience, and sharing it with others as a common ground, something you can mutually bond over and grow from with Page of Pentacles. And it's that your Page of Pentacles twice. That's what I mean. There's two people that benefit from you sharing your story. And I'm not trying to make this an icky monetize the pain you went through. That's not what I'm saying. I hope it's not coming off like that. Other people who have been, I just heard victim, in a similar circumstance, victimized, put in a similar awkward position of needing to grow up really fast, losing their innocence, losing this, losing that. They themselves feel like they have to go at it alone too. They have this mentality of, no one's ever going to love me. No one's ever going to care for me. I'm going to be alone the rest of my life. It's simply not true because your stories mirror each other. Twinning. I said something about a twin flame earlier with this devil card. I said it may not be lasting, but I said it with the 1111, the twin flame card. So this could also represent your clients, your audience, if you go to write a book about, child psychology or again, just sharing your story, whatever that means. Public speaking, stand-up comedy, right? Comedy is a beautiful, vehicle, essentially, to tell some really dark, fucked up shit, but in a way that is easily digestible to the audience. Even same with music, lyrics, right? Writing these really tragic songs that resonate with people, that really strike a chord. It's taking something in your life and viewing it as something positive from which you can grow from. That's coming up as your challenge or focus, and it does have to do with difficult emotions you struggled with either as a child or in your past. It may even involve a child, or again, if you're the child, it may involve a parent. That's coming up as your challenge or focus, especially involving a Libra. And something about this is also talking about bringing justice to the situation. As I'm saying, it's not, I hate to say it like this because it sounds so dramatic. It's not fair that you had to go through this. Confirmation, it sucks. But again, it's almost like you were chosen, you were spared, or something about, I keep wanting to say you were chosen as special. Universe, God, spirit, angels, whatever, saw something in you that was like, this is going to be a difficult job, but if anybody can do it, this Virgo can. And so the struggle that you've had to endure, the pain, the emotions, the depression, it's setting you up for a future in which you are being encouraged to share your story, to find mutual groups, mutual communities that can find strength within each other so that no one has to feel alone anymore. This is a really heavy message. You right the wrong. You rebalance the scale for all the shitty people in their life who did this to them. Something about you allow people to come together. And I do want to say it's not getting together and bitching about it. It's not getting together and being like, it's not lower vibrational thinking. It's not this. And that's the thing. You needed to go through this to understand that you have power over your thoughts. For the longest time, Virgo, you let your negative thoughts, your deep, dark thoughts, your, soured emotions, you let them have power over you. Here they're pointed down. They're not channeling and vibing messages high above, spirit, universe, right? They're not being communicated. They're stuck. They're keeping you trapped. Again, meeting this very crucial person in your life. Doesn't have to be a Capricorn or a fire sign, but for a lot of you it is. Meeting this person in your life sets you free, and it's something about the wisdom, the knowledge you gain from this, because they lived life very carefree. They live it in a way of, even though, and this person probably went through something similar. That's what you bond over. But it's the way they, again, spin, this sounds so cheesy, but the way they spin a positive from a negative, that is inspiring to you, and it makes you want to go and do that for your own life, and it has to do with rebalancing the scales. A lot of sword energy in this too. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I don't know if that's strong in your chart. You may have something like I almost said a Virgo moon. Well, you might if you have a Virgo sun and a Virgo moon. But a Libra moon, something like that. The justice, the fairness, the equality. You help, something about crusading. You help fight for others. You may be involved in social justice or humanitarianism, or especially helping children with their emotions, psychologists, counselors, therapists. And again, music or creativity of some kind plays a huge role in all this. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone out there, but that's coming through very strongly. And yeah, it's taking something, it starts off as just like a seed, an idea in your mind. And it's something about aligning your heart with the universe, putting it in broad daylight and presenting it to the universe like this is what the career I want to grow. Universe acknowledges when you're trying to do something that is good for you, that is good for your mind, body, and spirit. They want to help you grow this seed, so you don't need to hide it. Here it's like it's very secluded. It's something about you're gathering your thoughts, you're getting your ideas together about this. Once you feel like you have a solid idea, don't be afraid to go out and start marketing yourself, to build the website, to go to the library or whatever people do nowadays. Read the books on it, take a course, gain more information on this because, yes, something about this, it's going to launch you in a new direction. Yeah, take action. Absolutely. That's what I'm getting at. And it will bring you resolution. I love that. That's what this card is called. The Six of Swords is all about moving on with mental clarity because you didn't have that before, did you? Again, something about meeting someone and it just feels very divine or divinely guided. Very fortuitous, is that the word? Good fortune. That you happen to like cross paths with this person. And again, it's probably fleeting. This is probably you knew them a couple months, maybe a year. Maybe you met in Alcoholics Anonymous or some sort of support group for people who went through something very specific to them. Children of abuse or something of the sort. It doesn't have to be that. You meet someone and again, you cross paths and it sets you off in the right direction and you end up, your wounds are your wisdom. Taking something really tragic or difficult, painful that happened to you, applying it in a positive way in your life, it's a seed that you can grow into the oak tree. It's going to help you grow as a person. And I don't know how to say this without sounding kind of materialistic, but you capitalize on it. It's something about you earn income from sharing your story. And there's something wrong with that, right? Like we all have to earn a living. You have something. I just keep getting, you were the chosen one. So take it and run with it, kid. Like the longer you stay in this lack mentality, this poverty, no one loves me, I'm going to be alone, I have no money, this and that. It is a little bit, this is very much a reading about self-empowerment, picking yourself up by your bootstraps. This person will help. This person will help you come to some realization or epiphany about yourself. But yeah, you come into your power and take action forward to resolve what has kept you back. In the past, specifically emotions of the past that you need to reconcile, you need to heal essentially. That's what the Six of Swords is bringing you. It's bringing you mental clarity when for the longest time you didn't have that. You were a prisoner of your own thoughts. This is really powerful. So what is the help available to my Virgos? Interesting. All right, so you have the Empress. Again, every single time I get storylines about unsettled feelings with a mother for my Virgo. I know it's not for everybody, but it comes up. You could also be the mother in this scenario and have very unsettled feelings about a child, particularly if that child has been in behind bars, in prison, in juvenile hall, whatever they call it. That could absolutely be like a difficult sentence, hearing, court case, a ruling, a decision on something that was very unjust, or it gave somebody really unsettled feelings. Offering support to the mother. So whichever role you play. Also, again, creativity that already exists within you, particularly in music, or even something culinary, recipes, cooking, baking. I don't know, maybe some of you want to open your own baking shop or so. I don't know what that has to do with this, but it's coming up as the help available to you. Only take it if it resonates, right? Don't go open a bakery if that's not your story. Sorry, just choked on my air there. Yes, don't go open a bakery if it's not your story. That was just funny to me. I don't know. All right. Look through the situation and then courtship. That's what I mean. So something here, recognizing it far in advance that the people that come into your life, it's almost like a revolving door. And I said this to, oh goodness, who was it? It felt like it was about a Gemini. So this, and you do have a lot of Gemini cards. It might be about a Gemini, but whose reading was it? I think it was Taurus, actually. It was definitely Taurus or Gemini might be significant here, and Taurus and Libra here. Taurus and Libra. Anyway, here I go with this. Understanding, looking through the situation that people come in and out of your life in revolving doors. So because you have been a person who has constantly had to go at it alone, when partnership does arise in your life, there might be a subconscious inclination to hold on to it for dear life, to grab onto it and to not want to let go because you fear being alone. Which is kind of an interesting story because you've been alone for a lot of your life, even in a marriage where it was empty. There was no lust, there was no passion anymore. It feels like you feel like you're always alone. And so if it's not a romantic partnership, even with friendships in your life, even with coworkers, there's something about, and it's subconscious, please don't take offense to this, it might not even be you, a desire to latch on to people and not let go. What this is saying, if you are able to look at the situation of this person is beautiful and they serve a purpose in my life, but ultimately they don't need to come with me on the rest of my journey, that also has to do with being a victim of something too. Just because it happened to you once or twice or whatever it was, because someone was mean to you or disappointed you or took advantage of you, that is not the story you need to continue to keep writing. You don't need to carry around the weight of those thoughts anymore. You can free yourself from them. It's not saying that what that person did was right, but it's liberating yourself, freeing yourself from having to carry around the burden of it. It's not justifying their actions. It's not justifying what they did to you by any means. It's making peace with the past. That's what the Six of Cups is. Supporting yourself, right? If you don't have it from other people, though just to be clear, you do. You're not alone. Other people have walked a very similar path. And again, you're going to meet someone who, even if their story isn't exactly the same, something about it makes you realize the heavy weight of the thoughts you've been carrying around. And again, freedom, liberation. What I'm getting at here, though, is recognizing it is a much more healthy state of mind for you to be in, recognizing that every single person that you've come in contact with in your life, no matter how disappointing or amazing it was, they did serve some purpose. And it could be romantic. For a lot of you, it is. Courtship, see through it. Don't put it on this pedestal of this is my person and this is my soulmate, but they also make me feel like shit and talk down to me and, I don't know, hit me, right? Something really dark. Seeing through that, why am I meeting this person? They're on my path for a reason. It's almost like an equally beneficial, what do we both bring to the table? That's going to help set you off on a path that offers you better insight. And it weeds out toxic people in your life it's something about having trouble reading people's energy. I think in the past, you've been taken advantage of because you didn't spot the red flags. It may have been that I don't know if it's you saw the best in everyone or wanted to, or again, because of this feeling of isolation, you were so willing to let people into your circle. But those people kept you stuck. Those people kept you trapped, specifically the words, the things they said to you. It got into your head and it really did some serious damage. Understanding that people in our life is fleeting, I just keep wanting to say that that's going to help you. So in a higher vibration, spend time with the ones you love. If you're still holding on to some resentment from childhood, but you still have love in your heart for this person, particularly a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, maybe. Go spend time with them. It's something about freeing yourself from the prison of the past. So some of you want to incorporate this person in your life again or reintroduce them to your life. Others of you don't, and there's nothing wrong with that. Again, freeing yourself, whatever that means to you, right? But also, it's something about, because there is such a focus on the individualized, independent path, People can be your support system. Where is that card? People can support you and cheer you on and be that person that you come home to at the end of the day and talk things through. But ultimately, it is up to you, the individual, to take action to change what you don't like about your life. I'm just getting, no one's going to do that for you. You're going to have people running beside you, walking beside you. Again, people who've walked similar paths, but in the same capacity, you can't fight their battles for them either. So enjoying the positive people surrounding you in your life as motivators, as people who encourage you and inspire you to go out in the battlefield and kick some ass for yourself, right? Fighting for what it is that you want to create and who you want to love. It's something about giving. Interesting. Some of you are fearing having children because you had such a traumatic childhood. You don't want to put them through that. The Empress is always shown pregnant, though. So I'm not pushing you in any one direction or another, but for those in that state of mind of, it's almost like you're fearful of all the damage you could do to your kid. You don't need to worry about that. Again, you were chosen to learn these very important lessons to make a change in the world. An earth angel, right? A light worker. You approach things very differently now because you are able to step outside of your head and take control over your thoughts again, right? You're not letting them control you. You have a different perspective because of this Capricorn, I just keep wanting to say, that offers you insight, or a fire. I just paired these cards together accidentally, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands. Divine pairing. I don't know if both your parents were fire signs or you have two best friends who are both fire signs. Something about a male and a female fire sign is important here. You may end up marrying someone and having a child with a fire sign. But yeah, there's a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of questions that still exist in your mind, and know that that's okay. It's almost like don't overwhelm yourself, because that's what this is. It's overwhelmed by too many thoughts. Don't overwhelm yourself. Take it a step at a time. Let things grow and develop organically. I always say you can't will the baby to come out faster. You know, it's going to take that solid 9 months. And so enjoy the process while it's happening. She's Mother Earth. She's like creation incarnate, right? She grows and develops things. She's the Empress. She builds the empire. So again, I do keep wanting to kind of lead you in the direction of whatever this bullshit was that you went through, Virgo. It might actually become very not useful. That's not the right term, but essentially, it serves a purpose in your career path, in your career goals. Again, maybe you become a counselor or a therapist for people. And even if you weren't the person who was the victim, and clearly someone was here, I just got to call it like I see it. You may course correct. Say you grew up in an unstable home and unfortunately your child suffered a lot of burdens because of an abusive spouse. You may course correct a little bit and end up going towards a career that, again, helps children or helps alcoholics or helps unstable families. You understand what I'm saying? Something about you offer hope to people who are filled with sadness and uncertainty, and it's because you had to go through all that. You may be helping couples counseling, couples therapy. Again, something about the perspective, you see it differently. You offer an unbiased outsider perspective on something, and it helps get those seeds to grow properly. It helps things to blossom and develop organically. Something about when people were led astray, when wounded warriors, you help wounded warriors because you are one. You set people off on a new path. You give them a new story. You give them a new opportunity to like rewrite the story. Some of you are absolutely writers, or again, singers, musicians. You offer them hope and you offer them a chance to love themselves. Again, this whole thing of I'm alone and woe is me and no one will ever love me. You come in and offer people love and support, and you teach them to love themselves, because that's what you've had to go through too. All right, final advice or guidance. Expression, yeah. Express that story that's inside of you. Because yeah, guys, Emperor and Empress, build the empire, career goals, money. For those looking for money, if that's important, you have something that exists within you already. And if we detach it from this whole victimization mode, because for some of you, that's not the story. Pieces and parts of that, though, do have to do with this. There is creativity inside of you, the Empress, the baby, that project that is existing within you. As I'm saying, it's no longer time to hide it away up in the treehouse, right? It may have to do with homes or remodeling or something about the home, family dynamics, and put it out into the universe. You know, give it to God. Be like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to grow. Manifest it. Talk to your spirit guides. Express that thing that exists within you. So like with angel wings, it can take off. It can fly, right? It's something you learn in this weird, or not weird, but unique exchange with a person. They're like an earth angel in disguise. This person was sent to you to help you. And again, I don't necessarily think it's long-term romantic partnership, but it could be. This is a card of Aries. You did have a lot of fire showing up in this. I just keep, it is the card of Capricorn. That's why I keep being called to say Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Capricorns are the worker bees of the zodiac. They work very hard. So again, building off of this, it may become some sort of like industry or some sort of expression of your truth. It sets off a chain reaction where people start living their best life. They start building upon or rebuilding from a structure that was, it's almost like they all had tower moments in their life and you guys mutually bond over, I went through that too. And then together it's like a support system. It's a support team, very much like Alcoholics Anonymous, your sponsor, that person you call when you're really stuck in your feels. Yeah, there's a community of support from which you guys are building something great together. Yeah, don't be afraid to let go of what doesn't serve you, of the people in your life who disappointed you, of the thoughts that are no longer helpful to you, of the things or people that are keeping you stuck or telling you can't. Here you're holding on to them for dear life. As I said, this is sometimes the miser card. It's okay to release, right? And also, if you're holding that creative idea inside of you, it's almost like the metaphor of constipation. Let it out. Express it. Don't tell the baby it's not time yet. Don't come out. Like, that baby will come out eventually. You only have, and that again points to me like the idea of you only have so much control over the timing of this. It's almost like the clock is ticking and it's divinely guided. This is going to happen. It's like you're just waiting for that first message that sets you free. And maybe this tarot video is it, right? I mean, I'm not a Capricorn, but I'm sure I have Capricorn in my chart, but do you understand what I'm saying? There's some message or some conversation or some interaction with someone that lightens the load of this mental baggage and all of a sudden, freedom. It sets you free. And I'm not saying it happens overnight. I'm not saying this is going to happen in 2 seconds because there was a buildup of some really heavy shit probably from your childhood. But again, one at a time. Don't get overwhelmed in the process. Yeah, there's that tower. Angel of Enlightenment. That's what I should have been calling this devil the whole time. And actually, they go right together. These are different decks, but from the devil, from something that is keeping us stuck, it's a weird metaphor. It's like the devil is actually informing us that we're stuck. And then the tower comes in. And I always say, there's 2 ways to deal with this. You can wait until you see that the building is on fire, stay in there and then kind of get blown out, like it exploded out the window, or you can swan dive into your destiny. Like, look, it's like she has perfect form. She's aiming. And what's really beautiful about this metaphor is what she is swan diving into is the water, love, emotion, growth, spirituality, your network, your people, your support system. They're going to catch you when you fall. That's what I was saying here. Your sponsor, however that works for you, your best friend, your husband, your wife. Maybe some of you end up marrying this Capricorn. I'm not saying it's impossible. The soulmate card came up for a reason, but something with the timing of it, even the 11:11, you're going to look at the clock and see it's 11:11. That's a confirmation for you. All right, Virgo, that's what I got. Final advice or guidance. We'll pull one of these cards. Although I feel like 2 is going to come out, but we'll see. For Virgo. Final advice or guidance for my Virgos. Final advice or guidance for my Virgos. Oh, too many. We'll take those 2. All right. I honor how I want to feel. Yeah, because you guys don't want to feel this way anymore. I know that you don't. I think you guys want to feel like this. Living your best life, right? Growing and building and gaining new friendships, new relationships, making money, right? Feeling successful. It's funny, you go from this, I do want to say, for most of you, it's not literal poverty. Money's probably tight. I could see that, but a lack state of mind to like, watch me build my empire. An empire state of mind. I surrender to a power greater than me. Yeah. Everything you've gone through was divinely guided. Even the really shitty stuff that feels like you shouldn't have gone through it, you were chosen. You are like a trailblazer. You are meant to be the leader that others follow. And it's like you're carrying the torch for people who have been victimized, for people who have been not acknowledged, made to feel less than. You're carrying the torch to like bring them to, again, like fool energy. Bring them to a new state of loving themselves so that they can go after all their wishes and dreams. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. Please like, share, subscribe. If you feel so inclined, leave a comment, and I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye.